Hi guys, do you want to see how I turned this long drab jumpsuit from my local thrift store from this to this? Oh yeah, then stay tuned. Alright guys, I got this piece from a local thrift store in my city and I picked it out because I really like the details on the shoulders with the little straps, the button type thing. I like the fact that it had a zipper, which is awesome. I like the fact that it had the two little pockets in the front with the buttons and then the little drawstring. Actually, it's cinched with a with elastic, but the drawstring with the details on the end, I just feel like it was a really nice piece. It also has a very wide legs and it has pockets, which is totally awesome. And I just really liked it overall. It's very nice rayon-y fabric, so it's kind of giving. And I like the fact that it's got the white legs, so it won't be super tight once you make it into the short set. So just overall, just a really nice piece. I think I found it for, I think it was $6, if I remember correctly. I know it wasn't more than $7, but it might have been like $6.50 or something like that. So anyway, just a really nice piece, like I said, with the details and everything like that. So I just kind of showcasing it for you here so you can kind of see some of the details and maybe why I chose this particular piece. I've been wanting a romper for quite some time, so when I saw it, I immediately thought, oh, I could transform this. And then look how long it is. And it's really good quality fabric when you look at it. So let's get started. Some things you're going to need for this project would be like a ruler, of course, and something where you could just measure how long you want it to be from either your waist or from the center, like where the crotch area is, and of course some scissors. So right here I'm just folding it over because I kind of wanted to make it sure it was even when I did the cut and have everything just symmetrical, if that makes any sense. So I'm just folding it over, just kind of manipulating it so I can have it easier to kind of eyeball where I want to cut it at. I didn't want to cut it too short, of course, because I didn't want to have it, you know, not long enough where I could hem it up and have it be the right length. So you kind of want to give yourself a lot of room to play with so you can go back and edit it as needed. So here I am just still trying to, I was sitting on the floor, so I was having all sorts of problems just trying to get it to lay out right. It's a very silky, rayon-y type fabric. So just trying to make sure it lays out properly so I can have it be even. And then I'm going to grab my ruler and kind of just eyeball where I want it to go. If I remember correctly, I did about 8 inches from the little center crotch area. And I just went down from there. Of course, it ended up not being 8 inches in the long run, but I just felt like it gave me a lot of fabric to play with. So I'm about to get it cut. Now here I'm just making sure that my measurement was what I wanted to be. It ended up being a little uneven. So if you ever do this, kind of cut one pants leg and then go back and cut the other one. I ended up cutting them both at the same time, and so it wasn't even, but it was okay because I knew I needed to hem it up and sew it. I knew it was already too long just looking at it. So here I am at my sewing machine. I'm just going to start pinning it up just so I can start the hem. I decided when I was doing this part, which you're going to see in a second, that I needed to turn it inside out to pin it because me trying to fold it over and pin it, it just wasn't working. But I'm kind of going through right now, just kind of eyeballing how I want the hem to be. And I knew that I was going to do it twice eventually, so it was okay that I did like a small bit and then I was just going to roll it up again. So here is it all hemmed up and ready to go. And then I'm going to do the other side here. And I'm eyeballing it based on what I did for the first side. And of course, I don't show it on the video, but I do go try it on just to see how it looks and kind of eyeball it. It's hard when you're doing it for yourself. Well, actually, it's probably easy when you're doing it for yourself because you can just use yourself as a model. But it's hard too because you got to keep trying it on just to kind of see and kind of playing around with the pins. So here I got both pieces pinned up. So I'm just going to take it to my sewing machine and go on and start the first hem. And I used a black thread. So I think white would have been too noticeable, but I did end up using a black thread for it. And one little tidbit for you sewers out there, if you're pinning down your fabric, kind of have the pins facing away from you, if that makes any sense, so that you could grab it as it's sewing, because I had to kind of I had to stop and like pull up and take the pin out. So it was easy. And I think I did it eventually, but it's easy when you could sew it, and as you're holding the fabric down, you just kind of pull the pin out at the same time. So again, just the pointy side like away from you, so that way you could take the ball of the pin and take it off. Which, like I said, I end up realizing that I should have done that, but it's all good. Like I said, I'm still learning. I feel like I say that all the time. I need to let it go. But yep, here I am just sewing it down. I'm not going to bore you too much with it here. Okay, so I'm all done with the first part of the hemming, and as you can see with the black thread, it kind of camouflages into it. So if it's not 100% even, which is something that I'm still struggling with when I'm learning, while I'm learning how to sew, is just making sure that my lines are even. It's kind of not noticeable. So here I am. I'm just going to show you how now I'm going to fold it over again and do like another hem. Now this was after I tried it on and realized that I had to make it a little bit shorter. I ended up folding it on top of itself, if that makes any sense. So kind of like if you were to fold your pants over a hanger, you know how you kind of put the hem sideways to each other. I don't know how to describe it, but I ended up doing it that way and then pinning it that way, so that way I can make sure that they're both even. And then here I am just about to go back to my sewing machine and sew it down one last time and go on and wrap this up. Alright, and of course when you're done, you want to take like some small scissors and start cutting some of those threads, because of course you're going to have a ton of threads. That's the last thing you want, is for people to see all your threads. So here is the finished product, or project rather. Really like how it came out. It doesn't look even, but it ends up being even. That's just because it's the way it's laying down right now. Just kind of showing how I just sewed the ends right there. I like the fact that when I folded it over, it kind of gave like a weightness to it. So it was, it didn't seem like it just was like all wavy at the end, if that makes any sense. So it looked like it was actually supposed, in my opinion, it was supposed to be like that eventually. So here I am just showing you how it came out. I'm happy with the length, and get ready to see the final on. A staple in your wardrobe is these very nice, fancy cat glasses with the bow, whiskers, Hello Kitty inspired. Okay, now, on a serious note, thank you guys so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully you got something out of it, this little tutorial slash DIY, I guess, thing. I had a lot of fun making it, and I'm very pleased with the results. The only thing that I struggled with probably would be like just making sure that the romper was proportional, and also having it be the right length, because even though you want it proportional, you don't want it too short. I am a mother of 3, I can't be walking around with my goodies hanging out. And unfortunately, that's what some of the rompers look like at the store, in my opinion. And so I like the fact that this gives me like the romper feel, but it's conservative. In my opinion, this is my opinion, I feel like I accomplished that. I do like it. I'm going on vacation for spring break in a couple of weeks, and we're going to Hawaii. Yes, I went there. Anyway, so I wanted something that was easy to throw on, that didn't require like me ironing it, you know, just... And it still accomplished me being cute in so many words, but you know, I could just throw it on and take it off, whatever, put a bathing suit underneath it if I need to. So that's definitely what I wanted to get. And being that it's cold outside, it's hard to find very much warm clothing here right now. So the fact that I was able to find this at a local resale shop and kind of refashion or repurpose it was a win for me, a win-win. Anyway, so things that, in my opinion, are like, of course, I'm not a professional sewer. I feel like I have to throw that out there all the time. So some of my methods might not have been, you know, the proper way to do it, or what you may have would have done it. Of course, they worked for me, which first of all was the sewing down first, like sewing it, hemming it down first, and then like rolling it over again and sewing it back down again. It gave me an option to kind of play around with the length, not cutting too much fabric off, but still playing around with the length, and then giving it like a stiffness or a heaviness to have it lay down flat. So that's the reason why I did that. Also, it gave me an opportunity to kind of go in and like edit it and make sure it wasn't too short, make sure it wasn't too long. And so being that I cut the fabric, in my opinion, I felt like I cut it long enough where I could kind of play with that. And then if I needed to cut more off to make it shorter, you know, but once you cut it too short, you're done. So you want to cut it long enough where you could kind of go back and edit it as needed. But what I was going to say is some things that I recommend when you're looking for fashion to refashion is to make sure you get something that fits you, or something that's way too big so you could kind of take it in. This actually fit me out the box, for lack of better terminology. So all I had to do was really just kind of take care of the bottom, so it was super easy. Also, you want to get something that the fabric is easy to work with. This was like a rayon polyester type blend, so it was easy. I didn't have to like deal with any fraying or anything like that. And also, you know, it's giving. And the fact that it was kind of giving was like, if I made an error, that it wasn't going to be like really super noticeable. And then I also like the fact that I picked, even though it's black and white, I picked it's like dark colors, so that, you know, when I used my thread, I used black thread. It wasn't going to be super noticeable that my lines maybe weren't, you know, straight or anything like that. And I like the fact that the fabric that I pick has random patterns, because if you're dealing with straight lines and your lines aren't lined up, or they look like they're going askew, you know, it might be kind of noticeable. So if you want to do something like this, I'd probably recommend just picking some random pattern type fabric, so that if you make any mistakes, it's not super noticeable. With this particular piece, I feel like I could have done a number of options. I could have just sewed the pants together and made like a maxi skirt, or maxi dress rather, or I could have still shortened it and made it into a dress, but just have it shorter. Of course, when you're dealing with random patterns, I don't know how it would have looked to have like patterns the lines not match up together or anything like that. So that's something to consider. But I really wanted romper. I really wanted some like a little short set. So that's the reason why I picked what I did. Other than that, I don't know of any other advice I can give you. I'm trying to think really quickly. And just take your time with it for sure, because while this particular project probably took a little over 30 to 45 minutes, because I had to keep stopping, because I got my baby with me. So I had to keep stopping. So, you know, but I still would recommend taking your time, because if you are going to wear it out in the public, you don't want your lines and stuff. You don't want your stuff going all over the place. So anyway, I am going to end this here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please, if you have any comments or questions or suggestions, please feel free to let me know. I don't mind constructive criticism at all, because like I said, I'm still learning. So anything that you could offer up as advice, I will gladly take it. And if you have any questions about what I did or anything like that, I will gladly give it. So I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. Yes. Ta-da! Say hi. And this little guy. No! Oh my goodness. Okay, felt pretty nice. Hopefully you agree. I could have sewn. Oh my gosh, child! I could have sewn. This is different. To me, this looks cuter to me as a short set than a long piece set. And I'm sorry for the screaming child in the background. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here, because apparently So I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.